Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. The NL wildcard has become a scene and a new front runner out in the AL West. Seattle, we've always loved you. Let's talk ball. Connerly early.
Oh, I struck out.
Yeah. I know, lefty. Trevor Plouffe. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek, code Talkin 2025. Jake Storielli here, Trevor Plouffe there, Bobby Srirachi here. We are in it. I feel like I think there's a little lull. I think football comes back. I think summer ends. I think everyone kind of restarts their normal life again as we leave the throes of summer. Should I have been a poet? And now, Trev, I look down today. I can't wait for the standings. What's going on in the AL West is insane. What the New York Metropolitans have done to their fan base this year with the ups and downs of their season. And the Reds and Giants holding on to some hope. It feels like our final races are really, really showing their final form. So I'm excited for it, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jake. That was very poetic of you. I am excited to talk some ball here. There's some guys that are kind of stepping up just in the nick of time, if you will. But I agree, man. What are we at? Like 15 games left, something right around there. I mean, it's no longer a marathon. We call the season a marathon all the time. It's a sprint. And I know that's where you and Gimli, son of Gloin, excel.
Yeah, hopefully it's. I know what the people want. They want you to sneak as much Lord of the Rings as you can into this episode.
Very dangerous over short distances.
and honestly, that's there's a time in a young man's life when you don't want to get compared to Gimli, son of Gloin. But when he dropped that quote, I was kind of out. Excuse me, I had no argument to be out against.
He's also badass, dude.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of, I know you're Aragorn, but we have a lot of Gimli Legolas back and forth with our kill counts and everything. God, some people just came here for the best part of the baseball season, and we punched him with this. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the not Lord of the Rings fans that listen. And I guess I'm super H'd up for the true Lord of the Rings fans that do tune in for this. Because you got it. We got Yankees, Red Sox coming up this weekend. Go on.
I haven't given a what is you doing, baby, in a long time.
Yeah.
Dude. I got a what is you doing, baby today, so stick around for that.
That's fantastic.
I should give out more what is you doing, babies, but sometimes, I feel like I got to be inspired to do it.
And that's all I want from you. God, Houston, Toronto, Milwaukee, and the Texas Rangers. But it is Friday, Trev. So that means we're starting off in the National League. Tight. Okay. One of the series we will not be tight about. The Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Metropolitans played for in the Philadelphia. And the Phillies, who haven't been able to win in Citi Field, give the Mets a dose of their own medicine. They take all 4 games. My goodness. Aaron Nola with 6 shut-piece in that first game. Durant slams the door. Ranger Suarez, how's your 12 strikeouts from Trev's old Lehigh Valley Iron Pig teammate? Did I get that right? Otto Kemp, add him to my list of guys that the ball goes a lot further than I thought. I thought he flew out to center. He went about 420 to deep center. Harrison Bader is destroying his former team, and Christopher Sanchez is destroying everything in his way. Jesus Lizard with the bounce-back start after the bad first inning. Oh, my God. It's getting interesting in Flushings. The Reds take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Fernando. Hey, Fernando and Laureano robbing balls in each corner. Doesn't get much better than that. Neither does the nice walk-off win after a solid Yu Darvish starter in the first game. But here come the Reds. especially late in that final game. Trev's Andrew Abbott, 8 innings, 1 earned, and the boys get it done in that 8th inning. Ellie De La Cruz, enroll those R's when you say Andujar with the pinch hit. RBI single to get it done. Cincinnati Reds alive. Snakes Giants, not looking like snakes alive this year, but it might be Giants alive. They take the first 2 games of this series. Logan Webb with just another phenomenal season. 6 innings, 1 earned run. Jung-Hoo Lee with the 3-hit performance. And Willie Adames pissed on a ball. After fouling it off himself, he deposited it into deep left field. D-backs salvage a series on that final game. Perdomo with the leadoff homer. Jake McCarthy, sure. The Cubbies, they played the Atlanta Braves, and hey, the Braves and Bryce was their elder in that first game. Speaking of elders, how about Snit's 800th victory as a manager? Next year is going to be his 50th season as a Brave. What? After that, it was all Cubbies. Hey, there's PCA. 2 RBIs, 2 steals. Matt Shaw with the big hit. And Carson Kelly keeps his kind of delicious season rolling. Happy for him. Cubs, 2 out of 3. The Dodgers sweep the Rockies. That might not surprise you. What you need to know, Tyler Glasnow coming back from his achy back. 7 innings, no hits, 11 Ks. That's pretty good. Emmett Sheehan, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Mookie Betts was all over this series. Teoscar and our guy Blake Snell, 6 innings shut piece. Big Dodgers over the Rockies. And then did you watch Nationals Marlins? They split 4. I didn't really, to be honest. Xavier Edwards accidentally hit a home run and he didn't realize that was a nice moment. A lot of guys I'm excited to see next year. Jacob Marcy, another 4-hit game. I'm over it. That's what happened in the National League. We're going to get the standings from Trevor Plouffe, and it's all brought to you by Nutrafol. Fellas, take care of it. Today's episode is sponsored by Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. Wow. Feel great about what you're putting into your body, since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Fellas, get ahead of it. Thicker, stronger, faster. That's everything we're about. They're talking about hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. And for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Enter the promo code TALKBASE. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code TALKBASE at Nutrafol.com. Trev, give him the standings.
In the National League. By the way, Pop, nobody does it better than you. Can't believe I get to work with you 3 times a week, and then I get to come to the warehouse and dice you up, Pop.
Blessed.
Still a bone to pick with you about that. Me and Joe McFly texting.
I'm ready. Oh,
him and I have been texting
mad.
a lot
You're
lately.
big mad. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I like that.
All right. In the National League East, I mean, the Phillies, they were going to pop champagne anyway, but what an exclamation point to the season and the division with the sweep. 87-60 for them, an 11-game lead. When do they get to pop the champagne? Like soon, any day now.
Soon.
I don't have the elimination number up, but my goodness. The Mets 76-71, holding on for dear life. Marlins 68-79, Braves 65-81, and the Nationals 16-86 in the Central. Brewers also probably going to be popping champagne, not quite as soon, but they have a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs, 89-58, even with the L3. We'll get into that. 83-63 for the Cubs, 74-72 for the Reds, 72-75 for the Cardinals. They were always this team, I guess. They just like to trick us every once in a while during like a random summer month. Pirates 64-83. Out west, the Dodgers a 2.5 game lead on a 4-game Johnny, 82-64 for them, 80-67 for the Pods. The Giants continue their push, man. 74-72. Your D-backs 1 game under 5, 73-74, and the Rocks 40 and 107. Kyle Farmer, come hang out with me, bro.
Mm.
In the wild card, this is where things are getting interesting. Right now, the Chicago Cubs they're going to be the number one wild card team, people. That's what's going to happen. They're in first place. Second place in the wild card goes to the Padres. The third seed right now by 1.5 games is the Mets. Reds 1.5 back. Giants 1.5 back. And that's all I can really talk about. Maybe a baby shout out to the Snakes out there. 3 games back of the wild card. Those are the standings in the National League. Well, I guess let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
I like doing this. If the season ended today,
yeah,
that's always fun. It'd be the Brewers and the Phillies. They would get the bye. And the New York Mets come into Los Angeles and play a 3-game set. And the Padres would go to the Cubs for a 3-game set. Those are the standings in the National League.
Thank you, Coach Trev. Yeah, the NL playoffs are looking pretty clear, man. I guess the Phillies could clip the Brewers. They're 2 games back in the loss column. So the 1 and 2 seeds, depending how the playoff bracket looks and how these teams finish, with the Phillies on a W4 and the Brew Crew on an L3. So that'll be interesting. Both those teams get the bye. The rest of it is pretty close to being sorted, except that last one. Like, the Padres and the Cubs are a few days from being like, this is just what we're doing. And it seems like the Cubs will be, hey, big week for the Cubs. They should be hosting a playoff wildcard series.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the seeding might be around set, but that last wild card is going to come down to, and I said the Mets had like no chance, like they were going to kind of limp into the final wild card spot. They were up too many games with too little games left. But then, when you get a 4-game sweep and the Giants are surging and the Reds still holding serve, taking 2 or 3 from the Padres. I mean, I said you can't lose it, and they're losing it. If they just played regular old 500 ball, they'd be okay, but they're not doing that. It's been a collapse of sorts. I don't want to call it that just yet, a collapse of epic proportions, because they're not there yet. But if it does happen, I don't know what's going to happen to Mets fans this offseason. I mean, where do you go from there?
Okay, I'll just be tight about it. If it does happen, and the Reds have the tiebreaker versus the Mets, so I don't want to say they're 1 game back, but the Reds are here. The Giants are playing some of the best ball in baseball, while the Mets are not. And that can change in an instant. We've done this the whole year.
Sure.
If things fall apart for the Mets, I think the target is going to be strictly on horses for the rotation. Like Clay Holmes was great for part of the season, but it looks like he's running out of steam. Like we thought they were going to be the Corbin Burns team, which, horrible example. How about Max Fried? How much would Max Fried change the Mets season this year? Yes, their pitching thing, they have it figured out, but you need a couple horses to save your bullpen and save your rotation. Hey, I want to cut myself off because the Mets could turn around. Maybe they just played the Phillies in Philadelphia, and maybe they're the best team in baseball, dude, because Ranger Suarez went 6 innings, 12 Ks. Jesus Lizard retired 22 straight after giving up 4 in the first. Nola with 6 clean. Like, the Phillies are the team for me, even without Wheeler, which feels really tough to say, but Duran on the back end feels so much different than what they've had in previous years. And, like, it's one of the weird parts of baseball that you can overcome losing like the Braves, when they won, they didn't have Acuna, and that was insane. That we obviously losing Wheeler is crazy, but this is the team with arguably the best starting pitching depth. Mariners, raise your hand up, and we're going to talk about them. That, dude, now that, like, Bryce Harper feels like he's locking in, the Bader, Marsh, that outfield feels like they're coming together. That Philadelphia is a powerhouse. They showed it the past 4 days.
I think this is really funny, and I'll get into the games, but just a more like a general talk about these two teams. The Mets fans love to talk about the Phillies coming into Citi Field. It's a house of horrors for them, and surely it has been.
Yep.
Going back beyond this year, but this year, Phillies 0-6 at Citi Field. Oh, that's great. Here's the problem: the Mets, you went 1-6 at Citizens Bank Park, so you can't be talking.
Yes.
It's just stuff like that. It is interesting. One victory for the road team throughout the entire year. I do want to go into the series a little bit. How about Aaron Nola?
Yeah.
Because look, Zach Wheeler goes out. How are they going to replace him? Is it as easy as just kind of saying, hey, we got other guys here? And maybe it is. Maybe you just rely on some of the other dudes, Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, Jesus King, all those guys. Jesus King, Lizard King, excuse me.
Who's Jesus King again?
I said Jesus King.
Who's that?
I don't know.
We'll find him.
I don't know. Who wants that nickname? But how about getting Nola back, rounding into form? Like, would that help a Phillies rotation? Sure. And there was some interesting notes here. Okay, he outduels McClain, which was awesome, right? The sinker usage was up. And it got back to like pre-injury levels. And I don't know what happened, but as he came back from injury, he became like a two-pitch pitcher, four-seam and a curveball. So the last two starts before this, 71% between those two pitches, 77 for both, 41 and 36 for the curveball. In his last start previous to that. The one before that, 54 and 23. So we're talking about a guy who's becoming very predictable. Okay. And he didn't used to be that way. He's a guy that kind of threw the kitchen sink at you, right? This start, he had four pitches range from 22 to 29%. So it was the four seam and then the sinker at 24.5%, curveball, changeup. So he was mixing his pitches up. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're keeping guys off balance, keeping them guessing. Can we expect that again from Aaron Nola? And like all of a sudden, does he become a guy that gets a start in the playoffs?
Hey man, he's a guy that got paid a lot of money for a reason. Like this guy's pitched a lot of really good major league innings that it's the story of these next couple weeks is who's
what happened? Why was the usage so predictable?
I don't know. I don't know how these.
Why do you come back from injury, then all of a sudden, just start basically becoming a two-pitch pitcher? Can't do that. And the results showed it.
Trev, the other thing that if you're a pitch percentage guy, if people remember last postseason, a couple pitchers, and this is the sick pitching world we live in now, like messed with their mixes a ton, and that's always happened, but like, Garrett Cole didn't really throw a sinker last year until the postseason. And with the technology we have now, like guys can do that and feel good about it that, it's the pitcher's still a step ahead in that dynamic. Trev, I'm more interested in, between the trade deadline and or whatever season guys are kind of having this year, you can change your narrative with a couple big games and big moments. Or if you go 19 for 36 against your former team and your rival, Harrison Bader against the Mets this year, 528 batting average, 564, a 1.342 OPS. Having a great year, hitting righties better than lefties, got an 827 OPS on the year, 4.1 B WAR if you're into that kind of thing. And the other thing that's Philly hot, which we've had a lot of debates about on this show before, and him and Bryce, I think, are the 1-2 on premeditated outfits and looks on the field. I saw him and Bryce celebrating. The hair, the arm sleeves, the elbow pads it was like video game perfection.
Bader's very into the look. I don't think he'd want to be talked about like he tries really hard with his look. I don't think that's the vibe he's going for, but he definitely puts a lot of effort into it. But you know what? This is one instance where look good, feel good, play good, because he's been crushing it. Has anybody done a better job at the trade deadline than the Phillies?
Ooh, interesting. Okay, Chris Rose.
I'm just think about who they brought over.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go with the guys that came from my team to talk about this. Harrison Bader's got a 942 since coming over, solidified the center field spot, which they've been trying to do for 3 years. Finally got their guy. He actually makes a ton of sense to bring back to Philadelphia. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Okay. But he does fit that like alpha male vibe that they got going on over there, doesn't he? And then you can talk about our guy, Yohan Duran, who's got a 1.23 ERA, 14 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 2 runs. Like they solidified the back end of the bullpen and their center field position. Like that's about as good as it gets. And do they have to give up some guys? Sure.
Good.
Sure. But dude, we're trying to win at the big league level, and you sweep the Mets. You're going to win the NL East. And a lot of it is because of these 2 guys right here. I don't know, man. The Phillies are kind of Trey Turner's on the IL, stinks. But they just feel like they have a lot of momentum.
And yeah, Trev, I forget if I dropped this one on you. I did this on a Wake and Jake. I think I was lost for topics and I was just hunting. Again, playoff sample size is so small. But man, there are only 5 teams this year that have a winning record on the road. So I hope, and think about what you just talked about with the Phillies and the Mets. Let's say the Phillies do claim the 1 seed and the Mets are the 6 seed and the Mets win their wild card round. I'd like to think home field advantage would matter in a Phillies-Mets series, especially this season. So I don't know. I hope we start getting to a point that home field advantage matters more as the Phillies fight for that 1 seed. And even the 2 still good. What are we doing with the Mets? Is it just I feel like they've been one of the most volatile teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say, but let's step it up, guys. You want me to give them a pep talk right now?
Let's step it up, guys. That's what you got. That's what you're.
I mean, what are you supposed to say? I mean, you have the playoffs locked up as little as a week ago, essentially. I told you all you got to do is play regular ball. Just don't play what is you doing baby ball, and that's what you're doing right now.
Trevor, if I can call you that. Their next 2 series, they welcome in the Texas Rangers, who are 15-5, the best record,
hottest team in baseball,
the best record in the last 20 games, and then they play the San Diego Padres. Maybe I'd hate to elevate your speech, and I know we have some young baseball fans that like to listen to this show. And if you're
give them the earmuffs,
you're a parent controlling the radio, 3, 2, 1. Pick it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you got 15 games to salvage this, or we haven't had a lot of LOL Mets this year. They signed Soto. They got the richest owner. Things are changing. If they blow this one, the LOL Mets stuff is going to get pretty loud. Pretty loud. And all of that is with the Cincinnati Reds in San Diego, which I think the next series we need to sink our teeth into. We said the Mets are coming up on the Padres. Padres might be losing that flicker of hope against the Dodgers without the tiebreaker there. The Reds take 2 out of 3, and it could have been 3 out of 3, Trev. God, the old dogs. You know I love me some Francona and Bochy this time of year. Padres take that first game. Gavin Sheets, you talked about trade deadlines. I think the Padres would raise their hand with Laureano and Sheets and Fermin and Mason Miller. Like they still have an argument. They win 3 straight after winning that first game, and then the Reds come back and they survive Fernando's robberies, and Zach Littell retires 11 straight. And it's like, do we even remember that trade? And then they come back in that final game that the Reds have a certain juice that I feel like we haven't seen since summer of 23.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. Obviously, the first game, Jackson Merrill, big hit. Talk about Gavin Sheets kind of getting them back in the game before that 10th inning with the Fernando walk-off. The second game, look, you're facing one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. Very deep, very long, just like Jake Storiale likes to do it. I thought it was cool. They were 2 for 26 going into the at bat for Tyler Stevenson, 2-run homer in the ninth. That was after Fernando robbed him. So look, you got to bear down. Sometimes you're not going to get the job done, but then you have a great at bat like this, ties the game, and they end up going ahead there. Or excuse me, unties the game.
Yeah.
To take the victory. That's huge. I mean, that's what you have to do in a race like this. You're going to have big hits. You're going to have to do it against tough pitching, especially when you're facing another team in the thick of the race as well. Like you're going to get A1 type stuff. And for Tyler Stevenson to go do that, that's the kind of performance that the Reds need to continue to have if they want to, to get that last and final spot. And then speaking of performance, I mean, that's all we do here.
Yeah.
Andrew Abbott versus Nick Pivetta in the last game. I mean, fire me up. Abbott. I mean, two completely different pitchers. I don't know how tall Abbott is. I'm going to guess 5'11", 5'10". 8 innings pitched, 1 run. Pivetta's like, I got that too. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Just an absolute pitcher's duel right there. Love watching Abbott pitch. He's an actual pitcher. It's awesome. And then, it's your guy, man. Miguel Andujar. Pinch hit, RBI single, again, against a bullpen that's been nasty. Like these are the games, man. If the Reds end up making the playoffs, I feel like this is a series they could look back to and say, holy shit, that was what happened.
We're putting it on the table right now. And like this.
I mean, Morejon's been absolutely filthy this year. And look, it doesn't have to be the best knock in the world, but you find outfield grass against this bullpen. I mean, you got to be stoked.
You know what that knock was better than? A strikeout. Yeah. And like there was a couple years ago, people did not think that, which is insane. And dude, Pivetta, 29 starts, a 2.73. Abbott, 26.
Isn't he making like $14 million this year?
Is a fantastic signing. Is Preller your GM of the year? Stay tuned later in the episode. Trev ranks his top 10 GMs. Orioles apparently hiring a GM. Their GM just announced he's decided he's the president now.
Yeah,
because they're doing so well.
Well, they've been playing better.
I mean, they have been playing better, but
think about that. You're like, finally going to be hey, Mom, I'm finally going to be the GM. Oh, cool. You're going to make all the decisions. No.
I don't get that, dude.
Because the GM gave himself a promotion.
So what is that? Like the GM has to do all the legwork and the president just gives a Caesar thumb? Like what is that?
It's supposed to be like in cahoots. Like a 1A, 1B, but I don't think it is. I think it's more like a 1 and a 2.
I have you saying in cahoots a lot more around Justin Morneau.
I was just looking at Nick Pivetta's page, another Canadian.
Look at that.
4 years, $55 million. Quick math. $13 million a year. $14 million a year.
We should
13.75 a year.
Rob, tell our socials team we should post the all-country team each year. Like we should have the best Canadians, Dominican, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Venezuela, America, Japan.
Wait.
This
year?
Math?
Okay. Hold on.
Did they do a weird thing where they backloaded it a little bit?
This year he's making 1.75. Next year making 19.75, and he has an opt-out. I didn't know that. Okay. That's a strange contract right there.
Okay, Piv on his Evaldi late career-ish.
He is my new Evaldi, yeah.
Let's see. Our Cincinnati Reds coming up. This was a tough stretch for them. They're going at the Athletics, which, okay, let's get the bats ready. And then at St. Louis. Okay, so the Cincinnati has survived a gnarly little stretch for themselves. San Diego upcoming. They have Colorado and then at Mets at White Sox. So, hey, maybe Padres have one last push to try to get back in the West race a little bit. Fangraphs has it at 8.8% chance to win the division. So it's getting a little late. Trev, I think the last NL series and maybe more so NL teams, because I guess the Cubs deserve some golf snaps. There's not a ton for me to add there. There's a couple players I'd like to highlight. The San Francisco Giants, they are 1.5 games back in the wild card. The left side, their infield as a whole is on God mode right now with Chapman, Willie Adames, and then that Devers guy still going as well. Patrick Bailey with a couple homers. We haven't said that in a long time. That San Francisco does more than enough to stay a part of this season.
I mean, I guess we call Texas the hottest team, but they've won 13 of 16, the Giants have.
Pretty
I mean,
good.
that's very, very impressive. And a couple names kind of showed up here that we haven't been hearing as of lately. Patrick Bailey. How about Elliot Ramos?
Yeah.
That he was like the next big thing there. Has had kind of a quiet second half, but look, how about you start getting it going now and nobody cares about that?
Yeah.
And yes, up and down the lineup, they're getting much better contributions from everyone. We talked, I believe it was last episode, about Chapman, Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, all starting to rake there, which is Devers, all starting to rake there, which is kind of what the Giants have needed all season long. Yeah. Like, hey, let's just go bang the ball around. We got some good pitching, got a decent bullpen. And yeah, it's kind of what we saw in this series. Logan Webb, final line, it is the 4 earned runs, only 1 earned run. And for 6 innings, probably one of his shortest outings of the year because that's who he is. He's an absolute dog. Chris Rose asked me this the other day, he's like, is 50 homers the coolest thing you can do, like year in and year out? Like somebody's going to hit 50 homers year in and year out, or maybe they won't, but that's a cool stat, right?
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I think 200 innings might be the new coolest stat.
Yeah, homers are sexier. So it depends.
How many guys right now, I'm going to look it up, I don't know, are like on pace or have eclipsed 200 innings? I don't think anybody has eclipsed it yet.
Eclipsed. Yeah, I don't think anyone's. I feel like we have more guys on track than normal. Like, just top of my head, Crochet, Scooble, Webb. I know there's a couple of other Chad inning. I mean, I know Skeens has thrown a ton. Like,
you call them Chad innings?
Chad inning eaters. A little Bailey shout out. These
why
guys.
Why can't I?
Crochet's got 185.1. Webb's got 184.2. Then Christopher Sanchez 182.1 innings pitched, and then Scooble 180. Skeens rounds out the top 5 at 178.0.
So these guys, they all need about how many innings? About 15 innings?
15 to 20.
And they all have about 3 starts left. So
yeah.
Dicey.
That's a little maybe you're right, Trev. Maybe you're always right, man. And God, just a reminder, Yankees Red Sox this weekend that I teased. Late night, Dodgers are hosting the Giants. There's so much going on. I forget that there's 2 Giant Dodger series the next week that the Giants could control. Giants can control a lot in the National League. That is going to be fun. I guess any Cubs thoughts quickly, Trev? I mean, they take care of Atlanta. Atlanta hasn't been part of the picture in a while. The guys I wanted to highlight, Shota, I think it's 7 straight quality starts. That matters to me, along with Cade Horton continues to be like the best pitcher in the NL. And we don't highlight the relievers enough. Big old Brad Keller in that Cubbies bullpen. 21 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs. That matters.
I think he crushed it right there. I was going to talk about Cade Horton, how damn good he's been. So Cubs fans, just understand what you got there, because that's big time. And then I guess on the Atlanta side, I wanted to mention Spencer Strider. Like I think it's time I think we shut him down for the season.
It's got to be a discussion, right?
Like what are we doing here? He's down so bad he's shaving the mustache off. Like, let's just give this guy a little breather, let him reset, get into the offseason. He doesn't want that, though. That's the problem.
And maybe something clicks in those last couple games. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess, hey, same thing with the Dodgers. I know I hit it on the way by. Glass, impressive. All of this is against the Rockies, but Mookie's really starting to go. I guess anything else from there?
No.
Okay. Well, let's do a little American League baseball. Oh, hello. And it's with a kiss from the National League, because the Brew Crew, they face the Texas Rangers, and if you heard us before, the Rangers are in Fuego. 5-0 win in that first game. All 5 RBI from everyone's favorite Michael Hellman. Coming out of the 9-hole. He hits a homer in the next game, along with Wyatt Langford with the big RBI triple to win a 1-run game, and they get the sweep on that final day. 2 of my favorite words, Jake Berger with the 2-homer game. The Texas Rangers have entered the chat of this season. The Toronto Blue Jays, they've been the chat this season, and they take 2 out of 3 from the Houston Astros, which is very important for the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. The Blue Jays won that first game in 10. The late rally, IKF, with the clutch 2 RBI hit. Tyler Heineman walks him off. Houston bounces back. Yainer Diaz gets Hoffman. Most homers given up by a reliever to take that one. But then here come the Blue Jays again. They win 6-0. Kevin Gossman, complete game shut piece. Hello. The Cleveland Guardians take 3 out of 4. Interested to see how much love Trev's gonna give them in the standings from the Kansas City Royals. Is that the final stake through the Royals season? Vinny Pasquantino's doing everything he possibly can, but otherwise it was Cleveland. Slade Cecconi, suck on these nuts. 8 innings of 1-hit ball. The defense helping him out a lot. Joey Cantillo with 8 innings shutout. That'll do it with some J-Ram love. And how about CJ Kayfus stealing that final game? Mariners sweep the Cardinals. The Cardiac Mariners. They win in 13 innings in the final game. They might have played another game that didn't happen yet on this show with more of those antics. Leo Rivas. What a call from the Mariners booth. Brian Wu continues to have quality starts, and Josh Naylor's 3 hits. They had a pretty nice deadline, too. They continue to roll. The Red Sox almost sweep the Athletics, but Aroldis Chapman gets got for the first time this season, basically, as the A's walk him off in that final game. Otherwise, they got shut out in the first 2 by Garrett Crochet. You know him. You might have to learn of Connolly early. Southie Boston, get ready for this kid. 5 innings, 11 Ks in his debut. Sox take 2 out of 3. Rays White Sox. White Sox take 2 out of 3. Both of these teams leaving the story of this season. Tristan Gray hit a cool homer. That's nice. We love Chase Mydroth. There's your update there. Trev watched a lot of Angels Twins. Let's see if he dares talk about it on this program. 12 runs won you the first 2 games for either teams. Angels get the series win. Trout and Neto. Sure. Orioles. They sweep the Pirates. They win the first 2 in extra innings. These birds are playing really well. And how about Birds and Beavers as Dylan gets the walk-off single in that second game? Kyle Bradish is back. Hope is forming in Baltimore for next year as they get the sweep. And then, oh yeah, the Tigers took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. Tigers put up double digits in those first 2 games with a kick from the Yankees bullpen. My God. All 9 Tigers in the lineup scored in 1 inning. Hadn't seen that before. See something new at every baseball game. Yankees come back. Cam Schlittler with a nice start. The Power Bats. Aaron Judge hits his 45th with 45 in attendance. That is what happened in the American League.
Hits his 45th with 45 in attendance. 47, technically.
Right? And Judge hit his 46th, too, in that game. So,
oh, he did. You're right about that.
shout out to Joe, too.
I do have the standings if you're interested in something like that.
I am.
All right, Jakey boy. Great job as always. You're a stud. Your hair looks good today. Skin looking nice. Good for you. We'll start out east. The Toronto Blue Jays still have that 3-game lead over the Yankees. 84-62 for the Blue Jays. 81-65 for the Yankees. A half game back of them are the Boston Red Sox. 81-66. And then the Rays. Remember when they made it fun for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
That was like 2 weeks ago. It was like super fun. Not so much anymore. They're 72-74. Baltimore Orioles 69. Nice. And 77. The Detroit Tigers will be spraying champagne shortly. An 8.5 game lead on the Guardians. They're 84-63. Guardians 75-71. The Royals they can start planning the vacation, Jake. Vinny P, come out to LA, hang out with me. 30 and 100, attaboy. You ain't going to the playoffs. For some reason, people think I hate like the Yankees. I hate the Mets, the Blue Jays. The team I actually hate is the Kansas City Royals. I don't know if anybody knows that. That's the team I hate. 74 and 73 for them. 84 or 60. I wish it was 84. 64 and 82 for my Twins. 57 and 90 for the White Sox. The Astros and the Mariners. My God. Tied at the top of the division, 79 and 68 apiece. The Rangers, 2 games back. They're on a heater. We know that, people. Michael Hellman, former Twin. What happened? 77 and 70 for them. The Angels, 69 and 78 in the Athletics, 67 and 80 in the wild card. Jake, as of right now, it's the Yankees number 1 seed, the Red Sox number 2 seed, and then either the Astros or the Mariners. The Astros do have the tiebreak, so we'll say the Mariners, just for the sake of this. That's the 3rd spot. So someone's going to win the AOS, and someone's going to be the 3rd wild card. The Rangers, 2 games back. The Guardians, 3.5 games back. That's kind of deep for me to be giving you love, but I'll shout you out anyways because you had a nice series. If the season ended today, it would be the Tigers and the Blue Jays with the best record in baseball. Right now, Blue Jays a half-game lead, so they'd be the number 1 seed. The Yankees would host the Red Sox. And this graphic right here is it is right.
Yeah, easy.
Why would the Mariners host did the Mariners have the tiebreaker? Did I have that wrong?
Mariners have the tiebreaker.
Mariners they're 5-5 on the season. They have one
with
series
a 3-game set left. Yes.
They have one 3-game set coming up, but I believe in division, which we've done this a couple times, yes. I think the Mariners currently have the nod.
Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen. But as of today, the Houston Astros will be heading up to Seattle for a series. Those are the standings in the American League, Jake.
Trev, wow. Wow. I can bet on you, and I can bet on DraftKings, and so can you, people. Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Hey, football is rolling. If you're looking to bet a touchdown, that's a fun one. Hey, that guy's going to score today. Bet. You should do it with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. Bet just $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. That's good. Plus $200 off NFL Sunday ticket to watch all the action from YouTube and YouTube TV. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code JAMBASEBALL. That's code JAMBASEBALL to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. $200 off NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Coach Trev, the best drama is out west. That let's see what happens between the wild card and how the West is going to be won this year, because all these teams play each other coming up. We're going to get Rangers, Mariners. We're going to get Mariners, Astros. We're going to get everyone. I do know the Mariners have the tiebreaker over the Rangers. The rest is still going to be sorted out. So with that, I think we hop over, Texas. I think they sweep the Brew Crew. And we talked about the implications in the NL with how Phillies playing, that the 1 seed in the NL is in play. Hottest team in baseball. If you go last 20 games, the Texas Rangers are here. The names have changed, and kind of like you alluded to, it's not names we thought we'd be pointing to, but Michael Hellman won them 2 games this series.
He did. He's been great. And again, I'll reiterate, former Twin, that hurts a little bit. But yeah, they've had guys up and down the lineup contributing. Hellman's been the most consistent of these kind of like unsung heroes, if you will. You know, a couple of guys like Osuna, Freeman, they're getting the jobs done in a timely fashion, when need be. But Hellman's been the most consistent guy of that group. I like to throw Jacob Latz in there as well. A guy that's kind of gone, a little swing guy, some spot starts here and there. But he's just been great all season long. So shout out to those guys. Hellman, first career at bat with the bases loaded. Granny,
Not bad.
That's what you're supposed to do with the bases loaded.
bad,
He doesn't
pal.
know any different. He's a young kid. Don't you love it? Don't you miss being just young and stupid, not knowing about the world?
Nothing. You know nothing. I
You
get a lot of
just do everything for yourself.
my social media timeline has changed as a lot of people are now in their mid to late 30s that I think every now and then it's like, do I need to do a wellness check? Someone posts that, like, I think it's a Winnie the Pooh and Piglet meme that it's like, don't you wish when we just didn't know anything? And it's like, whoa, how you doing, pal?
I mean, more than ever, I just wish that I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on in our
God.
country. I got 2 kids that are just demanding as heck right now,
Yeah.
but I love it. Love them so much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I got from this. I think it has been the story of guys stepping up for the Rangers, which is what I say every single season. Look,
Yeah.
if you want to be a good team, your guys got to be guys. And then you got to have some dudes step up, from the bottom of the lineup or, again, be these unsung hero type of guys. Langford, I think, can be classified as a dude who should just be a dude. I know it wasn't great last year, but he's been a lot better this year. It's been fun to watch him. But yeah, you're right. Hellman he wins him 2 games in that second game, the 2-run homer to tie the game in the 5th. And then game 3 was the Jake Berger game. Him and Rowdy Tellez, like these names are reading off are hilarious. They're awesome. Berger has 2 homers. Rowdy the insurance run in the 8th. They won 14 of 17. They won series against the Brewers and the Astros back to back.
And Trev, they're doing all of this. This is without Simeon. This is without Seager. I saw one article. I don't know if this is really a thing that people are calling them the Little Rascals. If that's true, sign me up. But it's insane because those 2 might be trying to come back soon. And Trev, I've been teeing up all the matchups this weekend and the rivalry games. Tonight, in Flushings, Jacob deGrom returns against the L6 Mets. I mean, that's as much must-watch as baseball gets. And hey, maybe this has turned into a bullpen love episode, which you've always been about. You respect your bullpen brothers. In those final 3, or on Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Armstrong, Garcia, Maton, one of them got a hold, one of them got a win, one of them got a save. Like, that's what it takes to win those games late. And Texas has re-entered the chat of this season. Crazy.
So they're, talking about the Little Rascals, all the post-game interviews they're talking about these guys, they're bringing the energy. And that is what you're supposed to do when you're kind of one of the last guys on the roster. Like, get in there, do your job when called upon, always bring the positive energy. That is just what you're supposed to do, especially as a young player. Like, that's what you got to do. And I think it does become contagious. And an example of that will be Jock Peterson, bottom third. Game 3, hits a ground ball. Could be 2, but he beats it out. He's hustling out of the box. You don't see that too often from old Jock Peterson. Maybe that is the Little Rascals effect.
Let's see. Let me get some Jock Peterson speed metrics. Ninth in sprint speed this year, percentile. Hey,
he got down the line there. I'm telling you,
a hit's a hit. Looks the same in the box score, Coach. Trev, I think probably the last AL series that we really need to talk about. We could give some Tigers love too.
I got a bunch of them.
I know you do, Coach. You're different. The Astros and the Blue Jays, because the other part of all this action out west right now. Oh, and you're right. We haven't talked Seattle. The Astros lose 2 out of 3 to the Toronto Blue Jays as they keep rolling. Kevin Gossman in that final game and what he has done recently is becoming a storyline for the postseason as he goes complete game shutout. Astros cough up the first one late, and they are skidding while Seattle and Texas, I think they're both on 6-game winners.
We knew this would come just because I think the Framber situation opened a lot of people's eyes to kind of like, okay, like we're just assuming that Houston's going to coast in because the Mariners and the Rangers just haven't done enough to catch them. Now these teams start to play a little bit better. And yeah, I don't think the Astros have it right now in them to take off. And prove me wrong, Astros. But there was some interesting stuff here in this series. I think game 1 was the best game of the series. Your guy Varsho too, like incredible catches out there in center field. Body up against the wall, just how you like it. Jays end up coming back in the 9th inning. It was the IKF single, but it was a walk to Kirk, a single by Clement, Schneider walk. IKF 1-1 slider. They got a chance to win it right there. Second and third with Springer up. But he ends up K'ing on 4 pitches, so it goes to extras. And then we highlighted this play. I think it was on Wednesday. The Vlad throwing out Altuve at third base.
Yeah. And
that's a play like he said after the game. He goes, I motioned to Barger, who's playing third base right now. I motioned to him saying, hey, I get this is what you do. I've done this. Everybody does this. You're at first base and you go like this. You go. Basically say, if that ball's hit at me hard, I'm coming to your ass. So get on the base. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. He got the ball, took a look, and just made an absolute. He fired this thing over there. No hesitation. Barger comes up and gets it, and Altuve is dead in the water, man. That's a huge play. That wins the game right there. That play wins the game. And then my guy Tyler Heineman. Put the ball in play, baby. Good things happen. So that was the play of the series, and I think, you can talk about the Jays, and they had their own little rascal crowd going on for some time, but I think they're just a complete baseball team. The more and more we see these Jays throughout the year, they can play defense, they can bang when they need to, and they can pitch when they need to. Back into the bullpen, interesting. Hoffman. Non-save situation, game 2, coughs it up to Diaz. So that's a tough one because they actually, in the game 2, Toronto manufactures 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th, ties the game. Right. We're going to get it. And then all of a sudden, Hoffman comes in, gives up the homer, and the game's over. Gausman dominates in the last game. I guess the one stat I wanted to say there was on the sheet. I don't know if you read it or not yet, but Yordan Alvarez against Kevin Gausman, 0 for 16, 9 Ks.
How about that?
Okay.
Some guys just have their number. Trev, since the Framber incident, the Astros are 3-6. They've lost 3 series. They have Atlanta this weekend, and then it's home versus Texas and Seattle. Like, that's it. Although after that, it's at Athletics and at Angels, so maybe they just handle their business there. But next week for the Houston Astros, we're going to find out. They could bounce back and with a strong week win the division. With a bad week, they can find themselves outside of the dance.
I think a couple series go through quick, and then we'll hit on a meaningful one. Cleveland takes 3 or 4 from the Royals. My guy, Vinny P, I told you it's time to start packing up, getting ready to come visit me, big guy. The starters for Cleveland in that series. Slade Ciccone takes a no-hitter into the 9th inning. Brian Rocchio, I love watching that guy play, man. I wish him and Andres Gimenez were still together. Like, that's a special pairing. Hey, what's that like Vince McMahon meme where they're like, Dad, tell us about Andres Gimenez and Brian Rocchio, and he's like crying. Yeah. Like, dude, we need that back.
Wow.
Joey Cantillo the next night, 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Logan Allen, Gavin Williams, a great start. So in total, Cleveland starters, 27 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. That's how you get the job done, Pop. That's how you get the job done. 3 or 4 from the Royals, and the Royals don't have a great offense. They don't. But I still think you give credit when credit is due. And then quickly, CJ Kafis, who Chris loves, hits the homer off of Schreiber. And I was like, okay, he's a side slinging guy. If you throw from the opposite arm and you're a sidewinder, like the batter sees sees you really well.
Right.
Like if there's a lefty sidewinder, I'm going to see him really well. A righty sidearm guy, you like almost never want those guys to face lefties because they just see him really well. So I was like, okay, Schreiber's got to have crazy splits. This year, they're like almost identical. It was scary to see how close they were. But then over his career, 621 to righty, 780 to lefty. So that's more in line of what I thought. But this year, if you want to have a fun baseball reference experience, go to John Schreiber's page this year, splits, see lefty righty.
Wow.
That's all I got on that series. Then maybe the other one that you want to touch on quickly is your Tigers against your Yankees.
Not really, and this is no offense to the Tigers. Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize shut them down pretty good in those first two games. The Yankees have two horrific blow-up innings. Horrific. They gave up 9 runs in one inning. They gave up 8 runs in the last 2 innings of the next one. So they have some serious bullpen issues. I mean, this was Tiger ball. They kind of outlasted them and waited for their opportunity. And when it struck, they struck significantly. So the Tigers look great. When the Yankees hit a bunch of homers, they look great, but that's hard to do sometimes. So I don't know what to do with that. We did Talkin Yanks last night. So the rest of my thoughts are there if someone really wants it. If you have anything Tiger Yanks, I'd love it.
I asked Joe's McFly last night. I said, what are the Yankees on September 11th, the date? I feel like they always win. Yesterday, President Trump in the house goes into the clubhouse, says he knows every single Yankees player, does not know every single Yankees player. I don't even know if I know every single Yankees player.
I don't know if I know. It's the other like 40%
he
of
did guarantee a victory.
And he was right.
And he got it. What was I going to say? I had something. Oh, yeah. 15-6 since 2002 on September 11th for the Yankees. So keep that in mind. And, a little extra motivation there. I kind of like that for the city of New York. I wonder what the Mets are on September 11th.
It's an emotional day, man. It's it's that kind of topic isn't where I'm great with words. But yeah, man, when Judge homers on September 11th with the president in the stands, that feels different than a lot of other homers when they're wearing the FDNY hats and it's you don't want to say cool because in a way it's not supposed to be cool, but it's just like emotional.
It is cool.
Yes. When Judge does that, it's cool, but you also can't like put that on the play. I don't know. It has me a little twisted up. Mariners, Trev. That's the only thing that I'm feeling bad about right now. Because Leo Rivas, what have you done with his 13?
Let me take this one, Jake. Let me take this one because I got some things to say. Mariners sweep. Cardinals again. You gave a little glimpse of hope during the middle of the summer. Now, the fans are speaking out, not attending the games as much as they typically do. But this one's more about the Mariners. I've been saying lately that the Mariners, have done everything right this year, and if they don't make the playoffs, it'd be crazy. And the Mariners fans clap back at me like, "What about the starting pitching, though? There's some injuries at the beginning." I'm like, dude, you have no idea. They're just so blessed with starting pitching in Seattle that they don't even know what they have. If they're not number one in every single category, they think it's a bad deal. I know it hasn't been what they are used to there, but don't talk to me about starting pitching. Okay. Like don't talk to most franchises about starting pitching. Okay. Gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. I tell my kids that all the time. Anyways, Wu and I start in game 1, 4-run 6th inning. Josh Naylor, he's been solid for them. On base percentage is down, but he's had big hits and the slug is up. He has a great game there. Another homer in game 2, and then game 3 was the one for me. I was watching this game, me and Rosie texting back and forth in extra innings, and I told you I was going to have a "What is you doing, baby?" Ivan Herrera, what is you doing, baby? I know vacation's coming up. I understand that. But for the sake of the rest of the baseball world, what's going on? The first ball, he's on second base, line drive to Randy Arozarena, and he does not tag up. I don't know what happened. there. And then you have this play that we're showing on our YouTube portion. Did he forget the outs?
It's tough.
Just takes off.
Yeah.
Easy, lazy fly ball to center field. And Julio's like, thanks for the out. Now, the Mariners don't capitalize in that inning. It takes them forever because neither team wanted that game. I thought it was funny because Mariners answered back, have a chance to win, and I think it was the 11th or something. Julio ends up striking out, but Luke Raley bunts. They do the right thing. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. They don't manufacture the run. It gets into, I believe, the 13th inning, and instead of they get the Cardinals out in the 13th without giving up a run, because the Cardinals clearly do not want this baseball game, and instead of bunting Leo Rivas, who came in the game as a pinch hitter, they're like, earmuffs, 1, 2, 3. Fuck manufacturing a run. Why don't you just go up and swing it, big boy? First pitch hits the slider. And what was the call?
Swing it away! Leo Rivas! What have you done? Wow!
That's great.
Wow! He walks it off in the 13th inning!
I got a little chill.
So good, dude.
Chill.
Again, hey, number 76, don't bunt because we can't score anyway. Like, just go do something.
Turn on one. And I know
How do you not bunt right there? Like, I'm serious. Like, I want to know what the thoughts were.
I don't know. Some people don't even know how to bunt, so I don't know. And last night, Harry Ford with the little walk-off sac fly that hasn't happened yet in this simulation. So, hey, let's Josh Naylor has his best offensive stats this year at T-Mobile Park of any place he's had 50-plus plate appearances. I don't know. Maybe throw that 4 for 60 out there, Seattle.
He
trade for his
defense
brother.
has gotten a lot better in Seattle as well, at least metrically. I saw that today.
Good. I think the Red Sox are getting some love and awards, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
Then let's get there. Let's go to standout performance.
It's time for standout performances.
Standout performances.
Standout performances.
This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
Coach?
I am going to go with another one of these young pitchers that's come up and affected the races in a positive way. We've seen a bunch of them with the Mets. We just dogged on them for trying to blow the season, but they have had some young guys come up and have success. We've kind of seen it all over the league, and in Boston now, they got another one. 6'3" left-hander, Connolly early, a guy that's where did he go to school again?
Virginia, UVA.
No, okay, I had it right. Okay. He went to UVA, but before that went to West Point.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I love my Army dudes. Okay. He comes in, has a great start. He ends up going 5 innings pitched. Oh, that's cool. No earned runs. That's cool. How about 11 Ks?
Yeah.
11 Ks in your debut. And I love repertoires and guys that mix it up. 5 pitches over 12%, 4-seamer 31%, curve 21, change 18, slider 17, sinker 12. You got to love that. I don't know, man. There's just something about a young guy coming up, making his debut, having success. And you can say it's against the A's. That's what you can say. But I'll tell you this much. The A's can bang.
Yeah.
And that park is not easy to pitch in. And that mound sucks. Everyone says it. But here's the thing. You don't know any better. You don't know any better.
He was born in the
He hasn't pitched in the big league park yet.
Right.
Think about that. Let that sink in. I love the meme when the sink is in the door, actually.
Oh, a lot of memes today. We don't have a ton of Red Sox fans in this office. We have there's a pocket. After the Connolly early start, they were walking a little taller that day. They didn't have to hide in the shadows. And this sounds obnoxious for a guy that throws 97 and had an amazing first start. He just has such what you want from the lefty. Like, he's kind of got a lefty. He slings it a little bit. He's got the slider. Like, it's exactly what you want from a lefty. And yeah, now they're pitching. Hey, man, there's a lot of tools in the chest, and Alex Cora is one of the managers that we respect for when he has those tools to play with. He's put up some performances that, as Boston heads towards this postseason, I mean, Crochet and Chapman, there's about as little question marks as you could possibly have. And then still Bayo, Giolito, Watoli, and Early, and they're going to have options. They're going to have options.
Toley's got hit a little bit. He had a nice first start. Last two starts, not so good.
They pulled.
But I agree with
after
you.
two.
I'm still a Boston believer.
I think they have the best record since, is it the All-Star break or is it the June 1st? Like,
Dude, you know what? I'm so sick of stats like that.
Yeah, I know.
There's just
You can do
every
it for
date
every
you go
team.
back to. This team's got the best record. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, dude. How about we just look at overall record? I don't
okay.
know.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Great standout, Trev. My guy who stood out, and I hope a couple Texas Rangers were mad at me a second ago because we didn't really mention him. Jake Berger, 2-homer game on Wednesday to help them complete the sweep. Jake Berger was one of my favorite ads of the offseason, and I was just like, hey, man, this guy, 29 homers in 24, 34 in 23. And I'm someone that believes in lineup protection. Unfortunately, getting traded from the Marlins to the Rangers was worse lineup protection, especially for the first 120 games of this season. He got sent down at one point. You got to be going through all the dark baseball thoughts. It's a funky stat line, but he's got 16 homers on the year in 92 games, 246, 280, a 729 OPS. So he's got a 108 OPS plus, which is actually higher than what he was at last year. He's got the power stroke in a big way. Listed 6 foot 230. I like all that. He was a guy that coming into the season, he was slotted to be like bottom of the lineup, easy power. Things went awry. He's mashed lefties all year. And in the last 2 months, August, it's only 9 games, so that should be illegal. He's one dotting, though, and that's a game changer. And that's everything we're talking about now in this 15-game sprint. The stuff that analytics preach about of, it's a long season and things balance themselves out. They don't. Things are not going to balance themselves out these next 2 weeks. You just need dudes to perform. And Jake Berger, who, was looking like a meh, what happened? Is he a bad fit? He's now changing his whole narrative, including his 2-homer game on Wednesday.
He's been phenomenal for them. You did call it. I remember you saying that in the offseason, him going there was, lengthening the lineup, all these things you were talking about. But right now, I mean, he's kind of like the lineup.
He was supposed to hit 8th of a team with Evan Carter and Seager and Simeon, and it just Jock. How bad was Jock's first half? And now he's beating out infield hits.
Yeah, he can't be part of the Little Rascals, though. Too big.
No. Berger and Jock. Jock with the Whataburger deal. Can we work my guy in with a couple big postseason hits? Trev, there was a lot of options, but I think a lot of these options are going to end up on Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
And Fuego is brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Talkin' Baseball.
We'll start out in Texas. We talked about this guy already. Michael Hellman goes 4 for 9 in the series, 2 homers, 7 runs driven in. He becomes the first Rangers player with 5 or more homers and 17 or more runs driven in his first 22 games since early settler Nathaniel Lowe in 2021. Mentioned his first career Grand Slam. That was awesome. He also robbed one. Otto Kemp. Love that name, dude.
Yeah.
What a name
Yeah.
Otto Kemp is. I got an Otto on my on my travel ball team. Otto String. He's a little shortstop, got the
Full
long
name.
hair, like can pick it. He's a guy.
Is Otto
Otto Kemp though.
Is Otto one of the most underrated names? Like, I've never heard anyone be like, Otto, you. Like, Otto slaps. You can do anything.
Otto slaps. Is that Italian?
Ooh, don't know.
You should know.
I should know, right? Or maybe because I don't know. You keep going. We'll find out.
German.
Otto.
Okay, 5 for 13, a double, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in that series against the Mets. Parker Meadows, you saw it happen, Jake. 6 for 11, a homer, 4 runs driven in for him. Teoscar, okay, Dodgers would love for him to get going. 4 for 13, 3 homers, 3 runs driven in on Tuesday. It was his 21st career multi-homer game and his third in 2025, but his first since August 5th. He's posted a 215 average, 658 OPS in 87 games since returning from the IL on May 19th, but starting to get it going now. That's awesome. How about our guy Mookie Betts? Speaking of getting it going for the week, 12 for 27, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 13 runs driven in. Over his past 31 games, Jake, he's hitting 333 with a 931 OPS. That's like more like Mookie. That's what we're talking about. His the hot stretch began one day after the Dodgers fans organized an ovation for him. So is this a Trey Turner type situation? Possibly. Love that for Dodgers fans. A bunch of stats on Mookie here. He's put 16 balls in play at an exit velocity of 95 or more on fastballs over the last 14 days. That's tied for the most in Major League Baseball. He's missed on just 1% of his swings on pitches in the strike zone over the last 14 days. Best in baseball. So, hey, you're getting the ball in the zone and you're putting it in play. That's awesome. I saw this happen, and I don't know if I want to put him on in Fuego.
Okay.
It's Yoan Moncada.
Okay.
8 for 20, a double, a homer, 4 runs driven in. Number one, it was against my Twins.
Tough.
Number 2, some of the most lackadaisical defense I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're on the sheet. I'll read your name, but that's all you get. Jackson Merrill, though. 8 for 26, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers. So deuce. He was in an 0 for 16 slump, and then he did a Jake Story alley and debuted a new goatee on Saturday. And since then, he's hitting 5 of 6 games, 348 average, 1.2ing it with the GOAT. I don't know if I love it, to be honest with you. I don't love young guys with the GOAT, but sometimes you got to just do what you got to do. I feel like the goatee is reserved solely for old people.
It's tricky. You either have to know it's bad, which I think Jackson Merrill knows.
He does.
Or
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the one that turned my head and I was just like, no, that fits, was Nolan McLean from the Mets. I was just like, wow, that feels right.
Yeah, because he already like looks like he's from the 80s pitching.
He came up, he performed, the goatee is full, and he's a pitcher that, like, yes.
Cade Smith, 5 games, 5 innings pitched, 4 saves, only 1 hit and 10 Ks. Yum. He's the only pitcher to throw in 5 games over the last 7 days, and he has a strike rate of 72% and 2 strike counts this season. That's the highest amongst relievers in Major League Baseball. Jake, those are the guys who are in Fuego. Tell me about Corona.
I will tell you about Corona. It's about Corona o'clock over here. Friday afternoon, and there's not much better than kicking back, ordering some Coronas, and enjoying all of it. Soaking up the last parts of summer, or maybe you're ready for fall, and we're going to be ready for fall ball real soon. Games that really matter. So whether you're watching us live stream and you got your Coronas at home, however you like to enjoy them, whether you're in the cheap seats sipping on some Coronas, maybe you know Trevor Plouffe and you've got the good seats, grab yourself some Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Squeeze in the lime, people. We're trying to adult over here. If you're trying to impress Trev, if you don't eat a normal diet and you don't take care of yourself, that's not how you do it. Put the lime in your Corona. Enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours. Order Corona.com. 21 plus. Enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Who's struggling?
Hey man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up!
Some of these guys, it might be your last time to kind of pick it up as we're heading towards the last part of this season. Michael Harris Deuce has been on this list far too often this year. He's in a 6 for 45. The worst OPS with runners on base this season. Lowest in the NL. Come on. You're a dude. We all know it. Trev, Brooks Lee, talk to your boy. He's in a 6 for 43 right now. 091 against starting pitchers the last 2 weeks. That's bad. Kyle Isbell. It was not your fault but mine. Is that Isbell? I don't think so. Kyle Isbell, 5 for 34. He's out there for the glove, but we're going to need a little more than that if the Royals want to sneak something else. Manny Machado in his first kind of funk, 6 for 51. Getting mowed down by the righties the last 2 weeks. A 179 OBP. And Colton Cowser, Milk, 5 for 40. If it's 2 strikes, it's over. 071 on base with 2 strikes the last 2 weeks. So, hey, like you just talked about, Trev, the goal here is let's get these guys on in Fuego. That's kind of what Jackson Merrill did. 0 for 16. Grow a goatee or don't. There's one other informative part of this program that we have to give you. It's the IL. And again, it is a tricky year or a tricky part of the year to go on the IL because start doing 15-day math. It gets really tricky. 10-day. Alec Boehm, left shoulder. They're saying minimum. Okay. Tyler Locklear for Arizona. He was a big part of their Seattle trades. Should be out for the rest of the season. Sean Murphy for Atlanta, hip tear. That'll end his 2025. Logan O'Hoppe, concussion, and his stats are not where you'd think they are. They'll see how they treat him. Daniel Palencia, the All-Storielli team, right shoulder strain. Not sure if he's going to return before the end of the year. Circled that one. Luis Torrens with a minimal stint. He'd been really good for the Mets. Trey Turner, we talked about earlier this week. Bo Bichette, we talked about earlier this week. Dustin May for Boston. Unknown. Scary. Kyle Tucker, we talked about earlier this week. They're hoping the minimum. Luis Garcia, real tough. Getting a second opinion on his elbow after coming back from TJ. Reed Detmers, left elbow. Will Trev get him traded this offseason? And Michael Wacha for Kansas City. Concussion during an off-field accident. So that's a little weird, a little scary maybe. This is where we pick up the program. Grant Anderson and Rhys Hoskins for the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay, you've got my attention. Max Muncy for the Dodgers. We know what that does for them. Jonathan India in Kansas City. Michael King for San Diego. That guy with some playoff stones. Jose Siri returns for the Mets if you like some swagger. My guy. Vesia and Tommy Edman for the Dodgers. Everybody's coming back. Jamison Tyone twirled it for the Cubbies. Graham Ashcraft and Chase Burns for Cincinnati. Mackenzie Gore with a comeback start for the Nationals. That is who's back. It's time to start everyone's big playoff weekend.
Awards!
It's all brought to you by Hims. Who is going to be Hims the rest of this weekend? What Hims can't solve? Snoring, blanket stealing. But when it comes to performance, they got you covered. Take control of your ED with personalized treatments made with proven ingredients prescribed by licensed providers 100% online through Hims. Prescription treatment options for ED like the hard mints and the Sex RX plus Climax Control. Wow. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you, 100% online, personalized treatments that put your goals first. So, to go look into all of this. If this is something you're dealing with, fellas, and they've got weight loss and more, visit hims.com/talkin. hims.com/talkin for your free online visit. hims.com/talkin. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Coach.
I'm going to give my award, and it is called the You're a Real One award.
Nice.
There are guys throughout the game who I got to play with or now that I get to watch. So you can just tell, like, they kind of embody what you want your big leaguers to embody. A guy that grinds it out, a guy that, we like guys that have success at the big league level. We like guys that overcome things. We like guys that are good and charitable off of the field. We like guys that take chances on the field. And this guy has done it all, and he just announced his retirement. I'm talking Anthony Rizzo. He'll join the Cubs organization as an ambassador, but more importantly, he's just going to go and chill and enjoy life. Like, hey, welcome, brother. It's amazing. Your basement's a little nicer than my basement. Wonder what's in his basement. Maybe we got to figure that out. What do you think? Quick.
Golf simulator?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah. Probably like
Rizzo's Italian, right? He's probably got some nice Italian reds cellar down there.
Yeah, definitely some nice reds. I could see like a sick bar. He's a dude. He's an all-time dude.
Exactly. A professional, man. So I'll talk about overcoming things. 2008, at 18 years old, he's in the minor leagues, gets diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, has to go through a bunch of months of chemotherapy. Finally beats that, comes back the next year in 2009 in the minor leagues. He's got like an 840 OPS, so nothing's stopping him. Eventually, he forms the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation in 2012, which is a foundation that helps out families like childhood cancer and helps families get through that. So turning something that was very difficult for him into something that's helping out others. You love that. On the field, what can you say? I mean, this guy kind of accomplished everything. 3-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner. He also got the Platy glove, Roberto Clemente Award winner, which a lot of people will say probably means the most to them. And ended an 108-year drought. No, what was it? The Cubs drought, not 108 years. That was the Red Sox.
The curse of the Billy Goat. How long did the curse of the Billy Goat last?
It was a long time, people.
107. You were there.
I was there. So Red Sox were 108 and 71. Cubs were 107?
71. 1945. Well, okay. The curse of the Billy Goat started 71 years ago. I think Rob was right on the years. It's tricky.
It's tricky. Anyways, 2016 comes along. He catches the final out of the World Series. He smartly puts the ball in the back of his pocket. Everything's coming up Anthony Rizzo. This guy got to play in San Diego, Chicago, and New York. That's nice to have. 828 career OPS. He hit 300 homers. Just an absolute dog on the field. Nice guy. Stood really close to the plate. Got hit a lot. He could bunt if you needed him to.
Sure could.
He just did everything the right way. A really pretty swing. So, basically this is just the tip of the cap to a guy that I really admire and respect. Got to play against him a ton. Again, just a phenomenal person. Great career. The one thing, though, Jake, that I love the most about this guy, and Robbie's got the picture up right now, is the way that he defended the bunt.
It was nuts.
Nobody does this anymore. Basically saying you got to bunt it the right way, because if you bunt it back to the pitcher or to me, I'm getting the lead out. You don't know how much pressure that puts on the guy at the plate trying to get the bunt down when Anthony Rizzo is 20 feet from
By the way,
plate?
This freeze frame we have up now, the pitch is coming, and it don't look like the hitter's bunting.
No.
And that would happen sometimes, and you'd be wide-eyed. You're like, am I about to witness history in the wrong way? Rizzo gave zero fucks.
No, and he was great covering bunts because of it. He didn't care. And honestly, it makes sense. It's like, okay, especially if a right-hander's up, like the chances of them shooting a ball at you, probably not great. And again, just the pressure it put on. I used to love to do this as a third baseman. I didn't care, man. Like, dude, I felt like my hands were good enough. Like if you smoked a ball, I mean, I could at least get my glove up and protect myself.
Right.
Like maybe I won't make the play, but you got, like, if you want to be good at defending the bunts, you got to get your ass in there. You got to get in and not be afraid of the ball. And if there's one person that like understood that, and the guy that could actually, he was the only person that could defend the first and third bunt because of what he did. So I don't know, man. There's just something about him. Fearless, overcoming, great ball player, great stats in the World Series. Just a phenomenal career in baseball player. So shout out Anthony Rizzo. I don't remember what my award was called, but I wanted to break it down. And again, number one thing for me, how do you defend the bunt? Be like Anthony Rizzo.
I said all-time dude, and I think people know what that means, but every box from doing things in the community to being an actual leader on the team to performing on the field to offense to defense to base running, like all actual baseball stuff. And yeah, I'll tell you who's a guy who doesn't have a BS meter, Ian Happ. Ian Happ will tell you that Rizzo's top one dude he's ever met. And you could see the reaction from all the former Cubs players and a lot of the Yankees players that, like, I don't know a lot of the other details, but I bet on the road that was a guy you wanted to be near. And I bet he bought some rookie suits, and I bet he bought some dinners, and I bet he did it all because he did it all. And you're right. It starts off with, him getting, cancer treatment, to him breaking the curse, which Trev, you had, it was 108. The Billy Goat didn't attend the game until 45, so that was its own 71-year-old thing. He's a legend. He's a statue. Like, Cubs fans are debating what statue is going to be built, and it's I think it's him catching that final World Series ball, but he's a statue guy.
That's amazing. And people are going to point, I said he could bunt, and people are going to point to, he never sacked bunted in his career. It ain't the sack what I'm talking about. He was a shift beater guy.
Yes.
And like, I wanted more guys to do that. Big shift over on him when he could still do it. Like, he would just lay one down, take the knock.
And Rob, I'll give you one last hunk because I wasn't fully sure where Trev was going with his award, but you mentioned his bunt defense. I've never seen anyone handle getting hit by a pitch better. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, he was all over the plate, dude.
It was a form of lunacy in the nicest way. Like, the man would get hit by a pitch. He would just politely drop his bat and jog to first. It didn't matter where it hit him. It could have hit him in the wrist. It could have hit him in the neck. Like, the guy had, okay, well, this is when he got brought up when he got pretty good. So you're making me look bad here, but that's fine. That's fine. That's a World Series Trinan ball. I don't know. All-time dude. All-time dude. Congrats. He's already doing media. He's in. He's in.
Just leave the media to me.
Okay.
Let me have some scraps, bro.
Trev, I'm going with, and it's funny, you fake teased a name for award earlier. I'm going to take the Gun for Hire award. A gun for hire that wasn't hired this year. You're not going to get a lot of Nats content the rest of the way. But Josh Bell had himself a massive weekend. Let me get the stats. He had a 4-for-6 game, which we'll take that. 2 homers, both sides of the plate. How much do you value a switch hitter? In the 4-game set with the Fish this weekend, 7 for 15, 3 homers, 10 RBI, a 1.5 OPS. Josh Bell has been traded, I think, the last 3 trade deadlines. In the second half this year, Josh Bell, 43 games, 264, 360, and 845 OPS. He's 1 dotting in September early on. In the last 2 trade deadlines, he got traded. Last year, he got traded to Arizona, where he went 279, 361, a 796 OPS. The year before, he got traded to Miami, where he went 270, 338, and 818 OPS. So this is another guy who, okay, WAR's not going to treat him great because the defense has never been there. And offensively, he kind of profiles as who he is. But who he is a career 114 OPS plus, switch hitting big boy who he's had some slow times, he's had some hot times, and he's one of the most well-regarded players in baseball. We just had Nationals quotes about how beloved and how much of a dude this guy is. And I remember my Uncle Rick, big Pittsburgh Pirates fan, goes to all the spring training games. When this guy was coming up, he was like, yeah, I've met his parents. His parents are class acts. Like, this is a guy who's a guy that, like, even if baseball doesn't work out, Josh Bell is going to be fine. I don't know, man. This was another gun for hire that was out there that you probably could have had for your team's 22nd prospect. So if you're a team that right now is looking for some DH or first base love, and guess what every team's looking for? A switch hitter. You kind of could have had Josh Bell this year, and nobody went for the gun for hire this year. And I'm a little bummed out because of that, but I'm glad that he's raking to finish this year because another team will sign him this offseason, and we'll do the same discussion we do with Josh Bell every year.
Love that you gave him the award. I do think he is a class act, a guy that's been around for quite some time now.
Yeah.
After this year, he'll have accumulated over 9 years of service time. So when he signs to a team, which he inevitably will next year, he'll eclipse that 10-year mark, which is awesome. In saying that, career earnings, yes.
Oh, felt like
So for a little bit of a, I haven't looked yet, but a little bit of a reference this year, making 1 year $6 million this year.
So he never got the big one. He had a big outlier year with Pittsburgh. But again, he had some consistent, and I felt like he got a 2-year deal. So I'm gonna say Josh Bell, 55 mil.
Ooh, I was gonna go 51.
Wow, look at us. Couple ball notes.
And I'm going down. I'm scrolling. 61 mil,
Okay.
61.8.
We were there.
What's he got in the basement?
We were there. Probably like something cool. Like something we wouldn't even think about. Like a historic book.
No way.
I don't know. I don't know what Josh Bell has in
I
his
don't know
basement.
either.
Article just came out today, actually, talking about how Josh Bell changed up his diet in June, and now he's basically just eating fruit all the time.
He's a fruitarian.
Yeah.
Didn't Steve Jobs do that for a while?
That was apples or carrots with Jobs, right? And he
Okay.
died. So,
I think he ate all just the fruit, just fruit. Are carrots a fruit? Don't tell me carrots are a
Oh,
fruit.
Boy, not in my head. That's a veggie. That's a
But
firm
like they're
veggie.
the most fruit tasting veggie.
If you're the person when this conversation comes up that says a potato's a legume, you should be punched. Should be punched. Don't care.
If
They're not
of any of the
involved.
veggies, a carrot is the most fruit forward veggie.
a carrot's a vegetable.
I think of carrots. Yeah.
But like tomatoes are a fruit. They're not. They're a fucking
No,
vegetable.
tomatoes are a veggie. We can. You know who made that up? Some geeks.
I don't think you. I think it's more like scientific.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to Talkin' Baseball. Watch baseball. Watch sports. How about that? Sports are good for you. I believe in that. Big series, rivalries,
Jake sucks.
playoff implications.
Trev, you got Jake Berger for the over, 240 batting average. He's at 246 right now.
I did that
Dude did that
Season?
preseason.
That is
What
insane.
were you doing?
I don't know.
He's hot.
Get hot, kid.
Easy pop.